Hi, welcome. Come on in. I'm Karen Rifas. I was born in Chicago, lived in Atlantic City, New Jersey, moved to Miami, Florida, and have lived here for about 72 years. So I guess that makes me almost a native.
This is such an incredible space. You built this.
Yes, we did. We cut a hole through a wall of our house and added a few more walls and a roof, and now I have 1,000 square feet to play around in. These I just did at MoCA in North Adams.
How was the experience over there?
Amazing. I got to spend a month looking at 3 floors of Solowit, which was really nice, and then to work morning, noon, and night on my artwork and work with incredible people around me.
How's their space?
Well, the MoCA is like a huge manufacturing empty space that they've filled with art, and it goes on forever. So it was terrific. I found MoCA. It's a well, let's take this one. It's manufacturing city. It's trying to make itself over. There's working class people, so there's this feeling of structure, but yet it's heavy. I felt this heaviness to it. Although there were in this one, there's beautiful mountains where the sun just shines so bright the trees look yellow, or where there's a shadow of a mountain. The mountains are make it dark green, and yet this is MoCA. It's kind of like a Disney World. It's kind of like an experience that almost doesn't. It I don't know how to say it. It's this little Disney World in this place that's trying to make itself over and become economically viable again.
Mm-hmm.
So these are made of with a brush, high flow acrylic on Arches 140-pound paper. So I started MoCA with these 2 drawings. I stayed in a little apartment, and I looked up from my bed, and this is what I saw: all of these structured wood slats and framework on my ceiling. So it wasn't colored like this, but it almost was Solowit-like, and whoever constructed it 70 years ago had no idea of Solowit. So this was my living room. So this was the first drawing I made at MoCA. And then this was the bedroom, and this was looking up at the ceiling in the living room. This is a light fixture, but all of this was woodworking again. Solowit did something where he photographed everything that he ever owned in his house. So this was kind of just my start to MoCA. So I thought that was kind of appropriate. And then I started with some small ones. Here's another one. And then one day I decided I'd be very minimal. And then here's another one. So I hesitated to see Solowit's paintings the first couple, wall drawings the first couple days, because I didn't want to be that influenced by it, although I had seen it before and have books on his. But anyway, then I did, and I would spend time with, and here is another one. And then I went on to the big work, which I just showed you. I love color, and but I'm because I'm lived so long in Miami, brick is like foreign to me, and I didn't want to face it till like the last couple days, and finally I faced the brick, but I made it very abstract, just playing with the different colors of bricks that I saw, and looking at through the parking lot at some buildings on Mass MoCA, and there was a blue sky and just a little hint of the Green Mountain, and the rest was this heavy brick structure. So I did it. I made myself do it. These are from an older series, these two in the middle, from To Weave a Threshold. But I'd sometimes do a little political work. I'll show you. And these two, whoops, here goes the lightning. These two are from To Weave a Threshold. Sometimes I like to go very minimal and be it about conceptual, what you understand. So not to see this one and this one together, but to kind of tease your mind and say, did I just see it red or did I just see it blue? And I don't know if you can guess who this is.
I see.
Any idea?
No.
All right, I'm going to show you. Sometimes I do have a little political fun.
Ooh.
So I was reading the new Miami Herald one day. No, the New York Times. And I flipped it over. I'll flip it back. It's Mr. Trump. And it's appropriate that the thunder.
The thunder and yeah.
So that's Mr. Trump. So this
Oh my gosh.
So I'll show you the other little political one. See the tie?
I see it.
Yeah. And then I followed through with a few more red and blue pieces, and I'll show you. Whoops.
Do you normally don't get political in works, or you do?
I have done a whole political show at the Center Gallery called Morning Coffee. Here's another little political one.
The red tie?
The red ties. Do you remember when all the legislators or whatever they were stood up for Trump and when he was on trial?
I remember this.
But generally I'm working with abstraction. And I kind of play out a color and then I go on to other colors. These are all more of these paper pieces hiding under here.
What's a typical day look like for you in the studio? Do you have a routine?
Well, I usually have breakfast, I read the newspapers, and then I come in here about 10. And I have a big breakfast, so I don't usually eat lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And take a break around 2 and then work some more and fix dinner. And if I have an opportunity, go back into the studio and work a little more.
Do you like working at home?
I do, because it's on my time. It was kind of that way at Mass MoCA too, only there were no interruptions. But having a studio at home is amazing because, when I taught at or wherever I taught, New World, I had to go home and shower and clean up and then go teach. This way I'm home.
Did you enjoy teaching?
I love teaching, and I still see many of my students. I think teaching is part of learning to be an artist. You're always questioning what other people do, and you question what you do.
I saw From Miami to Maine. That's the last exhibition of yours that I saw at Dorsch. And your colors to me are like a jolt in the heart. They're so vibrant and beautiful.
Thank you.
What inspired that series?
I wrote a grant, which I didn't know that I received, but I went up to Maine because my daughter has a cabin in Maine. And thought when I was in Maine once upon a time, I noticed I was drawing in the morning, and I noticed that my color was softer and the palette was softer. So I wanted to explore that again. So I went back up to Maine without the grant and did some studies. And then you probably saw some of the
I did
work.
Yes.
And then came home, got the grant. So I went back up to Maine and spent some time going to all the museums in Maine, and also inland in the mountains and at my daughter's cabin, and produced that work. Came back, thought I would continue with that series, and Miami hit me. The colors of Miami, the explosion of Miami, the cars racing on the expressway, the chartreuse cars and the pink cars and the boom boxes, and the energy of Miami, and the constant transition of Miami. And so the colors and everything popped back. I couldn't help it. I'm back with the same colors, which started actually, I was a sculptor, so traditional male dominant colors of red, blue, yellow, like Mondrian, or the colors of sculpture like industrial orange. And I was going to Meeting House and putting up an installation there, and they didn't want me to ruin the walls, so I decided I would paint the walls. I was going to paint this archway with red, and I said, why am I doing that? Why does it have to be red? Why not pink? And so that pulled into a whole conversation for me about why we're limited to certain colors. And so I exploded, and I did pink and all the chartreuse and all the bright colors. And I've been, studying Albers and studying color theory and how one color makes another color different. And you know the story of that. But so that's my explosion into color, and I'm here. I can't get away from it. I mean, I can go to the Everglades and I can be subtle and whatever, but I think the color of Miami is amazing. Although the sunsets of Maine are quite amazing also. And here too.
When did you stop doing sculpture altogether? Or do you still do it now?
I pull back into sculpture and when I'm doing installations. But if you notice, I have a hoist up here. I was still working with bronzes and welding, and I had a TIG welder, which I got rid of, a big compressor. But I'm aging, and I can't lift 50-pound bags of sand anymore and lift these heavy things. And also, I think my ideas started changing. So it was time to make a move to other things. And I started drawing. The drawings led to paintings. And that's how it happened.
This is some heavy-duty equipment.
Yeah, and unused.
You are so organized.
That when I was in Mass MoCA, everybody loved my little pencil box.
Yes, I absolutely love it.
I spent a few hours drilling holes with the drill press, my big, heavy drill press. And these are just colors that I've mixed. These are the high flow acrylics that I use. And I mix all my colors. It's fun to mix them. So very rarely do I just use them right out of the... So this is my old set, and I got a brand new set, which I used at Mass MoCA. And these are all new brushes. The old brushes are over there. So I'm starting again with new equipment.
How long were you there?
A month.
A month.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm also doing a residency at the Deering Estate. So there's an artist named Morandi. Are you familiar with Morandi? An Italian artist who would take a bottle and actually paint the bottle, and then paint the bottle that he painted. But he had this wonderful palette, soft palette that I I decided that that might be interesting to use at the Deering estate. So, although this isn't exactly soft, but these are the stairways that lead into the water. And so I'm just playing on that. It's actually not, the stairway's there, but it's not that. Well, it did have hints of that color. But I've, of course, exaggerated this. This is a shadow of myself. That's the part of the walkway and dock. But using the geometry and the form and the color.
What are the initial stages of creating a piece for you?
Let's see. This is stuff from Mass MoCA. Sometimes I just take a piece of paper and paint. Other times, okay, this is one of the ones from Mass MoCA. And this, sometimes I do scales, one is 1 to 1, or sometimes I'll do scale 1 to 4 or 1 to 10, depending if I'm doing an 8 foot by 8 foot piece of paper. I'm not going to make it life size. So I just have a piece of gridded paper and I start with a line. I don't know, maybe I'll start with this line and this line will lead to this line. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of compose on site. Whereas I think this one, okay, this is what I started with, the ceiling. And this was above my bed.
Oh, I see it.
You see, and then I actually gridded it out and then transposed it onto the arches. But sometimes it's just starting with a, maybe this one. Just starting with one line.
Oh.
And then that line will take me to another line, and then I'll, start playing with it. Then I'll usually add color afterwards. Unless I'm working on a theme and then the color influences the geometry of what I'm making. That makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So 1 is just direct, 2 is when Miami to Maine, in Maine, making something from something I know, and 3 is just taking a piece of paper and drawing a line, and more conceptual, just seeing where that'll go. And then refining it. There's just some refining that goes on. The eraser works a lot.
Do you ever pause on a piece and then revisit it?
No, generally I just finish it and put it away. Yeah. And then, but I don't take myself too seriously, I don't think. This here, I guess I was drawing it out on the grid and started seeing pathways and playing with those pathways. And then knew that I was going to flip up the corners and playing with things that work together with it.
What about color? Do you normally just use your intuition, or do you know what colors you want to use?
I have a drawing in mind and I'll kind of pull out a color and then, start with colors and play with that and put another color in there. And then, of course, I won't use these exact colors, but this will give me the tonality for work.
How do you feel about the art community here in Miami?
Well, I don't know the young artists anymore, which is amazing. I used to know all the artists. And now I met someone the other day that moved here from Kansas City, and she's here making art and sculpting and whatever. So unfortunately, it's expensive to live in Miami, and that's the Bakehouse is trying to to do something with it, and Ulight is trying to do something about it, but it's tough. It's, you know, an artist should be able to spend their whole day making art, not, you know, waiting tables. And I mean, there's more productive jobs that they do, and teaching is a wonderful profession that, if you're structured, can give you time to make art. But it's tough. But and Fred Snitzer and a few of us really taught, because we wanted to teach a community artist that would come back to Miami and make art and teach art, so that we could build up a group of artists. And that's happened a lot. Usually our artists used to teach for a couple years at the university and just leave and go, because they wanted careers, and Miami wasn't the place. But now I think many artists can have a career and be successful in Miami. Not many, but better than it was. This is what I drilled my holes in. And also for the courthouse, I had 63 works. I'll show you a few that we just put in we finished on Tuesday, I guess. And I had to drill little parts and pieces with this, which I used clamps, which I use also to tear paper as well as to cut wood. These are museums I visited for Miami, Maine. Marston Hartley, I got to look backstage at some of his drawings. Were wonderful.
Who are some of your favorite artists?
Well,
I'm sure you have a lot, but
I have a lot, but I would say right now Solowit for sure, Albers, because of the intensity of his vision to get where he wanted to go, and also Solowit too. He had a conceptual plan of what he wanted and then followed through with it. One of my favorite artists that I could spend years looking at is Van Gogh. And I don't paint like Van Gogh, but I love his colors and his energy. And I need a structure, a geometric structure, and within that I have freedom to do what I want. I guess it's from being a mother and a housewife, and whatever jobs you have to do, you structure, and then within that you have your structured life. You get a chance to explore and grow. And this is a maquette for a cord piece, an earlier piece.
You do maquettes as well.
Mm-hmm. I have a whole room of maquettes to show you.
I love maquettes.
And this is an early bronze piece that was at the Fort Lauderdale Museum, and attached to it are glued on leaves to the wall, across the floor into the wall. This is a maquette kind of for a piece that was in that last show. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes.
Here's the secret room of artwork stored away.
Lots of brooms.
Lots of brooms. This is one of my favorite pieces.
Oh, I love this.
I am expendable, you are expendable.
Where's this from? This is yours?
Yeah, it's a long time ago. So I would go thrift shopping and find these things and put them together. That one's on the environment. Here's some more of these bubblegum machines. That's a two-way mirror, so you see this rock. You're not going to hurt it.
There's so much magic in a thrift.
There is.
You never know what you're going to find.
No, you don't.
It's so funny. I don't feel, when I'm in your home, I don't feel like I'm in Miami. Because look at that.
Well, that's one of the interesting things is that I have all this beautiful nature around me. There's bronzes back all around in there. You could probably see some of them.
I see.
But
Yeah.
and then I have the Everglades.
Yes.
A couple miles down. And then I have Miami and all the energy and reconstruction and development and all. I get to sit here and digest it all. And up here, I did a lot of, well, there's bronzes stuck up there. I did a lot of handmade paper pieces, huge. These are huge handmade paper pieces up here. See those triangles way at the top?
Yeah.
It was about the environment. And then I'm soon to have all of this stuff. I'm having some racks built next week and all of this extra stuff.
Is this storage for some of your smaller works?
This is all storage.
This is incredible. From far away, it just looks like a giant art piece.
All hiding back in there, bronzes and stuff like that. And these are drawings. I won't take them out, and this is stuff from the last show that I remember got to put away. You know, I've got to get it out of here.
You have a big collection yourself of other artists. Can you give me a little tour?
Sure. We came at the very end of the auction or whatever it was, and they were packing up, and I saw this and I said, "Oh, I really love it, and you can have it." So we bought it.
Look at this.
But I didn't know who it was. It was just,
and it's gorgeous. That's a really, I don't know if the camera will be able to do it justice.
G-Day. I don't know if he showed with Emerson Dorsch. As long as we're down this hallway, I'll show you. Found objects.
Well, see, I had this caboodles.
Yeah.
I had that.
Well, now it's called Fancy.
Yeah.
This is extinct. And thinking about the environment, if this or anything, if you close the scissors, it's never going to be, whatever you've closed it on is never going to be the same. This is a very, very old, from the first Cold War.
Really?
It's hot, cold, and
look at this.
Yeah. And this is a favorite little piece of mine. This is Purity, Vanity, and Introspection.
I've heard it been said that the best art you should really have in the bathroom. I know that time there.
Right. Elliot Miller.
Oh, I love this.
Do you remember Burger King University that used to be on Kendall Drive?
No.
It was an art space. You take art classes there. I took my first sculpture classes from him.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? And then I went on to do some bronzes. This is Bob Thiele. I'll show you another really nice pieces of Thiele. And I usually combine the bronzes with fiber or leaves or something or other. That's Bob Thiele.
That's Bob Thiele.
That's Bridge Red. And he was with Emerson Dorsch. He's one of my favorite artists. And I did all my casting. I got my master's from UM, and I did all my casting at the University of Miami. We would pour 350 pounds at a time. This I did at UM. I think in undergraduate, I was still doing fiberglass and resins before I heard of poor Eva Hesse and her demise with fibers and with resins. So this is it was kind of my fate. I was doing a lot of stitching. I was a mother. So there's this structure that's in a way nesting, but controlling, squeezing me in before I said, I'm going to make art. You can't make me stop. And this is a Bob Thiele.
Here. Such a great piece.
It is a good piece. This is a Harold Rifas.
He's an artist as well?
Well, yes, he is. And here's his empty heads in the bottom.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is a treat.
Yeah. And I think if you came, did you see this show at, I don't know if you saw this. This was one of the earliest pieces that I did at Miami-Dade with Bob Huff. One of the Five and Dimes was going out of business. I forget which one. And I saw these Barbie dolls, and I had an idea because I had Playboy knives. These are Playboy knives. They have the Playboy insignia in the wall. So my kids were growing up, and I wanted to do like a little talk. So I made this piece. It's called Somewhere Along the Line, They Lost Their Heads. So it's a sexual innuendo, and it's also, if all you think about is your body and that sort of thing, then you've lost your head. You've lost what's special about you. So that's how that came about. And this is a Bob Thiele piece.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, that's a wonderful piece. And these are Bob Huff, who I taught with. And these are, I'll show you some real pieces of his.
Oh, these are beautiful.
The one in the hallway that you liked is here too. But these,
oh, those are great colors.
He's an amazing artist. He was, he's still an amazing artist, but not alive. And these are some of the bronzes. Robert Chambers. This is an old piece, leaf piece of mine. Adalberto Delgado is up there. These are constructed with a chicken wire armature and then a mixture of leaves, mulched leaves, and paper. So
wow.
This I made at UM.
This one?
Mm-hmm. And they're welded sections together.
Oh.
I did my first installations in bronze pieces at UM. This is part of something that I did at the Dela Cruz collection. It was called
I remember these.
Called Abandon. Remember that?
Yes.
Where you picked your favorite leaf and put it in a slipcase.
It was such a cool idea.
Yeah, it was
I've
fun.
never seen anything like that.
It was fun. These are all from the backyard. But we termited. We took them down and had them tented, gassed, so there would be no buggies for the Dela Cruz collection.
What is these? These looks really delicate.
These originally I had a mirror piece that went up the wall, and I had holes in the wall, so I decided I'd stitch the wall.
You just really?
So they're little wax strings. If you look at the very top, I'll take you up there. There's a needle.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. You've seen these. You saw Harold's.
When did Harold do this piece?
This is who was it? Nixon. No. Reagan.
Very similar.
Yes. Reagan. And he did this with Ron Fondow, who used to teach ceramics at University of Miami. And they worked on it together.
Great piece.
If you got your degree at Barry, then you know Maria Brito.
Yes.
Maria Brito. And I think it's a really powerful piece.
It's so powerful.
Yeah, I don't know if she's making art anymore, but this is Joan Jonas.
Watercolor?
That's a Bob Huff.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
And this is Bob Thiele. This is a little me. This is an artist, Andy Goldsworthy. Are you familiar with his work?
No.
You usually see his photography. He's an English artist. He has stuff at the National Museum in Washington and all over the place. I did my thesis at UM on English, on land artists, English land artists, and he was one of them.
Oh.
And we went there and visited his gallery, and I said I worked with him. I told him about the paper I had written, and they said he agreed that I could have a piece. And it was really, I said, I don't care how long it lasts. I work with things that don't last. And I'll take it, and as long. So it's been here for the house is built. And during the hurricane, without air conditioning, it kind of drooped, but it's still on one nail for a long time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's made of pounded bracken fern.
Fern?
Mm-hmm. It's paper, actually. It's a paper piece. I did this with another gallerist, Bernice Steinbaum. I worked with her for about 10 years. And this is called Birds That Live in Seed Houses Should Not Be Gluttons. So it's a little political.
How'd you manage to put it all together?
I actually made molds and mixture of birdseed and glue and let it dry out and then screwed it together like a regular birdhouse.
Oh.
So these are, anyway. And then
this is so much fun.
This is about the Supreme Court, and this is a long time ago, but it's still relevant.
It's so relevant now.
Someone gave me and says that this is a little Eva Hesse piece, and I guess she showed it this way.
That's so sweet.
But we don't know for sure. I worked with fibers. This is plexiglass. These are Glexus Novoa, Zonia Xenia, who's a young artist. These are pieces of mine.
I remember these
up there. This is a Harold Rifas. This is a very famous piece. This is the Trojan Horse.
Oh my gosh,
and
brilliant.
It was juried into a show by Marcia Tucker. Remember Marcia Tucker from the New Museum? So there's a very funny story about how this got into the show.
This is incredible.
Isn't it? And it was about the time of the AIDS crisis, so it was very meaningful. Oh. So Harold comes up with some winners. A few. He doesn't do too many, but when he does, it comes.
They still work on art?
Well, he has some blonde wigs in the closet, but he hasn't done anything with it yet.
What's this? Oh, this is you.
That's me. Luann Kolodny made that for me. That's Harold with Truman. Truman is in the car, and Harold's in the background in the striped shirt.
He's so young.
Yeah, he's in college. I don't know if you know Barbara Najna.
No.
She's an older artist, really good. She did in the airport, I think it's Concourse J. She did the Everglades, River of Grass. And this is her piece, and this is a photo of hers. But she does really huge installations. And this is a mirror piece of mine. And depending on where you stand, your head can be below your feet and whatever. But it's made by taking a template of these circles and placing them on my 6-inch tile, and wherever they fell in a circle, I would draw a line, and then I put them back into 360 degrees squared.
Oh, they're perfect because they're picking up the green from outside.
Mm-hmm. The Bass has one of those.
That's so amazing. And I love your loft.
I'll take you up there, my secret loft.
Do you work up there?
No. And This is Thomas Essen. Maybe you should censor that one. I don't know, but he's a terrific artist. Fred Snitzer shows him. And I'll show you a few more behind the wall. Here's my cast of characters.
Colored pencils everywhere.
Oh no, those are my chopsticks.
You really? Oh, this is amazing.
Arturo Rodriguez from LNS.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know Sarah Stites.
No.
She moved away. She's in Maine now. And this is Brenda Danielson. I got that years ago.
She's so fun.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah. And
I love this.
yeah, that's an artist from Mexico. An old work. And a Weber. But that's just from like a book. Print from a small edition of a book. I'll show you my favorite room. This is my favorite room is my bathroom.
Well, of course, because you have the outside.
I have the outside and I have the trees.
It's almost like your shower. You have an outdoor shower.
Yeah, I could. Come to think of it.
This is hilarious. This is so incredible.
I'll show you. I didn't show you this piece, but this is a fun piece. This is a Richard Tuttle.
Oh, wow.
And the idea behind it is
I know this work.
You lay it down, or I think it's upside. Well, somebody messed with it. You lay it down and you put the blocks in it, and then you lift it straight up, and you get this configuration.
Yes. This is really sweet. Did you get these?
I made that.
You made these?
That was for when Clinton was in office, and it was about you shouldn't judge your presidents as gods. You can read it. I forget what it says. But now I want to judge my president. I'm not giving him any leeway. Clinton, I give him a little leeway for his digression, but not Trumpy. He's gone too far. I'll take you upstairs. This, I found this bingo tumbler in the trash. I was doing an installation at Miami-Dade on 27th Avenue. And these are old balls, but it's about when it's your time, it's your time. Kind of, that kind of thing. Kids love to play with that and break the ball. And these are some drawings, early drawings of mine. And I started out, be careful. These are great. I started out thinking about, I was doing stitch leaves and cord installations, like you saw the maquette downstairs.
Yes.
And so looking at the cords, looking at the shadows that the cords made, and my earliest drawings were playing with that.
It looks like thread.
Now I'll show you my secret room.
Looks like an attic door.
All right, don't bump your head. There's all kinds of books and handmade paper and early bronze pieces, and this was, I don't think you can see it, it's too dark, but it's called I Want, and I Want is stamped all over here. And I forget the name of the university, something Northern, I don't remember. I had all the kids write their I want messages, and these are all filled with their I want messages, like I want my brother to stop teasing me, and
I love that.
And they in turn gave me pencils, their pencils, which I hung all around the gallery. Yeah. And watch your head.
Oh, wow.
And these are all
the maquettes.
I had a show at MOAD, before it was MOAD.
Yes.
With a lot of these maquettes. Most of these were exhibited at the old University of Miami gallery. Remember when
Yes.
in the wooden structure there?
Yes, they tore it down.
And this is paper, and this is bronze. So, and this is early, but I was asked to do a self-portrait at Miami-Dade for a drawing class. And so I thought about it, and I didn't really want to do a self-portrait. So this is Tuesday to Tuesday. That's my laundry list for the week, which is was my self-portrait at that time. This is really old.
That's incredible.
I listed all of my laundry. So I got an A. He hung it out in the hallway. And this was with a vacuum press. Wait, let me get this back. This was a vacuum press at this University of Miami sculpture department. So this was a piece of bark. I made it into bronze. I cast it in bronze. And then I vacuformed the bottom and the top of it. I can't get it back together. There we go. So I did a lot of work at UM.
Must have been such a fun time to be there.
These are burn drawings. I think you saw one of these in, oh no, you didn't see that show. They're actually made with a wood burner.
With a wood burner?
I did a whole mess of those.
I love these.
Yeah, these are, the egg crate that they sell at Home Depot for the ceilings.
Yes.
So anyway, I wanted to see, one was just my life, babies running all over, sewing, which was, but I also wanted to see how far back in space you could see color. So back then I was thinking about color, even though I was a sculptor, I guess. And then...
I love your book collection.
Thank you. And then this is, again, my life, structuring knives, forks, and spoons,
This is beautiful.
Thank you. That's something I did with Elliot Miller when I was, the first sculpture classes you make.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Thank you. And then...
and you have a similar one here.
This was kind of expressive of my fate. It hasn't turned out so bad. But here's a pregnant woman. I wasn't pregnant when I got married, but on the bridal bed, arms, heavily weighted down. So that's a period of life for young women with little kids and screaming kids all around, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
It's beautiful. Oh, wait, I see it. The thread, the needle.
The needle. You see the needle?
Oh, I love this. This is genius. I have to tell you, I noticed it when I walked in. I was like, I have to ask her about this. I know that there's a purpose behind it.
And then, you can see all the pictures up here. Probably the cobwebs, too.
No.
Then I did everything with stitch leaves, whatever I could think of. They were free material that I had to sweep up. And these are, I don't know if all of them were shown from the last show, but
I know. I remember some of them.
I think this was. I don't know if that one was.
You have a draft room.
I do. That was my son's drafting table at one time. And this is Kristen Thiele's work. She works with film stills from way back when. And this is an older piece. And it can be, a lot of these pieces can be rearranged into different compositions.
Yeah.
But I've surprised myself at the color range, because I wasn't thinking of this when this appeared. another little political piece, which says, "Protect me from defining myself by another's standards." And so we have Barbie from defining myself. So I gave him a shtick, and just curlers, and everything has art. This is Sometimes Life Is.
Yeah. See? Bathroom art.
Bathroom art, right? And there's
magazines.
Get in touch with. Somebody gave me an old telephone, so I had to do something with it.
And the collections of art in America.
And then finding little stuff like this, which creates wonderful little shadows and whatnot. And other artists are back here. And here, some more students. And this is not much, but I did an installation in the grounds in front of Blue Light, which was something else back then. And I placed forks, knives, and spoons. And the day that it opened, somebody had removed the forks, knives, and spoons, so I had taken a picture. So I said, "Sorry, you missed my picnic." It's hard to see from the same series as the courthouse.
I do love that you could just put them together in any form.
Yeah. And then this is, again, when it's your turn, it's your turn. It's not turning anymore, but. And then this is a treadmill. For Bernice Steinbaum, I did a whole room of these things. It went around the wall, and they had little push buttons that played Happy Birthday and little songs. A little dusty. Excuse my dust. Yeah, I have more stashed away, and people remind me they still have them in their houses. And this is Eugenia Vargas. She's living in Chile right now, but she's pretty good. She was in the Venice Biennale. And Eugene Espinosa, I don't think he's making art anymore, but he was a student and he did some nice things. And this is my daughter. She was Elmo on Sesame Street for a year too.
Really?
Yes, so she's inside that costume, which weighed about 25 pounds.
I grew up on Sesame Street.
Oh, did you? Well, she was Elmo. Well, not on the TV version, on the traveling version. Mm-hmm. And these are early drawings.
Files?
Lots and lots. Before I got to the painting, I was doing drawings. You get to be my age to do a few things.
Your house looks like a gallery, really.
Well, and my husband's office looks like a gallery as well. He's got some nice work too.
Incredible. What's your advice to students and emerging artists?
Oh, my advice would be not to worry if you're not breaking into stardom right away. Your best work comes from doing a lot of work. My advice is to work, work, work. And the more you work, it's like a greased engine. You just keep on going. You don't have any blocks or anything. Work makes things work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.